All right, hello and welcome back, ALEKS students. So in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk through the different views, the different ways we can tell if we have completed an objective on time. So I think this is a pretty common question that students are going to have. Just wanting to make sure that you're where you need to be, that you're doing the ALEKS that you should be working on, basically. So from this home screen, and we should all be very familiar with this home screen, there's a lot of great information that we can get that will tell us basically at a glance where we are in terms of our objectives and what mode we're sort of in right now. So the first thing that I'm going to look at is over here. It says work ahead. So when you see this basically is telling you that you are in open pie mode, that you'll be able to work on anything that you really want to work on, both ahead of the class and behind the class. And then here it says next objective begins. So if you're seeing things that look like this is basically telling you you've completed the objective that is due next. So you're done with your assignment basically. And then you'll be able to sort of work ahead or behind if you need to go back and redo some things. That will sort of tell you that you're there. So if you click work ahead, another way that you'll be able to know if you have completed the objective that you need to be working on is if you go up here to this little drop down menu and then you go a little bit further and you click on the actual objective heading, you can see that all of these are unlocked for me right now. I can click around, I can click on the prerequisite review and go back to that. I can click on matter, I can go back to that. And it's automatically putting me into this measurement objective. So if you're able to do that, again, that's an indicator that you're in what we call open pie mode. You're able to navigate around. That means that you've completed the objective that you need to complete. So this matter objective, this is the one that is due currently, and I've actually completed that one. So that puts me into open pie mode, and I'm able to move around. You'll also see that this says with objective completion knowledge check. That means that when I finished this matter objective, I did a knowledge check. The screen turned green, and I had to answer a few more questions. Now, you don't need to do that knowledge check to get credit for this matter objective, but you do need to do it to move forward, right? To be able to move on in the class, you're going to have to do that objective completion knowledge check. So I've already completed that. The other way, and the last way that I'm going to show you that you can sort of check in on where you're at, is if you click on this little menu tab here and then go to the gradebook or reports. So both of these are going to give you grade information. So we'll start with the gradebook, and you'll be able to see the grades that I have so far in this class. This is going to tell me the due date for this objective. This objective is due on 1/13, and I've got 100% in the gradebook for that. So that's going to show me, right, good, I finished that on time. I'm where I want to be basically. You can see that for the prerequisite review objective, that was due on the 6th, and I only got 50% of that completed before that 1/6 due date. So I only got 50% of that, and these are going to be locked in. These are not going to change. Even if you go back and do some more work on this prerequisite review, I only did 50% by this due date, so my grade is going to stay as 50%. This one at the bottom, this is the overall pie progress. So this is telling you of the total pie of all of the topics that you need to learn in the class, what percentage do you currently have? And I currently have 27%. So it's good to check in on this just to make sure you're on track with where you need to be. You can see all of your grades at a snapshot. So I'm going to go to the last one here, reports. And in the reporting screen, this right here is going to tell you for the current objective, where are you? So if you just want to say, I don't care about all my other grades, it makes me depressed when I see that, then just click here on reports. You can see current objective, where are you with that current objective? So I'm going to click view full report, and we'll be able to see a little bit more detail on that. And here you can see this 100%, this is when I finished that matter objective January 11th. It's not due until January 13th, so this is going to say you're good to go. Here I want to point out sort of a little maybe discrepancy or a confusion point. So you can see it says 50% on January 6th. That's my grade for this prerequisite review objective. But you can see that now I've got 73%. That's because on the knowledge check, I actually got credit for some of these topics. So my learning of the prerequisite review is at 73%, but my grade was locked in at 50%. Now I will want to eventually get this up to 100% because I want to make sure that I fill in that pie. But this is why we're seeing different numbers here. This one's going to be 100% because I finished it on time. Now, if I had lost credit for some of these topics on the knowledge check, then this in here, it might be less than 100%, right? If I had lost credit for one of those. So you might see 100% here where you finished it on time, but then at a later point in time, you lost credit. So you'll have to keep in mind why you're seeing the different numbers there. This is your current progress. This is what your grade was on the due date or prior to the due date. So hopefully that's helpful. If there's any other questions, feel free to let me or your instructor know, and we'll try to address those as soon as possible. All right, thanks very much for your time. Cheers.